Chosen one about the home you live in. God is about to save you. There is something sacred about the space where you lay your head. The place you call home is not just a structure of bricks and beams. It is a realm of energy, of memories, of divine activity. It is the place where your soul settles after walking through a world full of storms. And if God is now preparing to save the very place you live in, then something major is unfolding behind the scenes. Your home is about to become the headquarters of peace, deliverance, and supernatural order. This is no ordinary moment. It is your sign to pause everything and open your spirit to what God is trying to reveal. Watch this video until the very end. And in the comments, write your warmest wishes and write Amen, along with the number 99. This is how you activate a space of agreement. When you declare your wish, you give the universe divine instructions. Your words form codes. These codes attract. Your energy speaks before you do. And when enough chosen ones raise their voice with pure wishes, reality bends, something will move, something will open, a current will flow, and your environment, your dwelling place, will not stay the same. Now, chosen one, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And let's begin. There is a reason God is highlighting your home. There is something happening behind the walls, in the atmosphere, in the shadows that only heaven fully understands. And the message is clear. God is about to step in. Not just spiritually, but physically. God is about to shift the energy inside your home. He is about to shake the hidden forces that have been quietly draining your joy. Something divine is being sent to surround you like an invisible firewall. And this time, the rescue will be permanent. This time, the peace will settle and not escape. This time, what tried to disturb you will be removed, not tolerated. You see, for a long time, there's been a pressure on your dwelling place. Perhaps you've noticed the tension in the air, the uneasiness, the sense of spiritual congestion. At times, you've probably felt like something unseen was watching, interrupting, or interfering. Moments of peace were short-lived. Nights felt heavy. Dreams were interrupted. And during the day, little arguments or distractions would multiply for no reason. These weren't random. These were signs. Something did not want you to find rest in your own home. Something was planted through events, through people, through trauma, or even through objects that created a spiritual disturbance. And no matter how much you tried to fix things on the outside, something always felt off inside. But now, God has marked your house for divine cleansing. A spiritual reset is about to sweep through your environment like fire. God is not only saving you, He's saving your space. He's saving your foundation. He's saving the very walls that hold your voice. And this is why the discomfort may have increased recently. Because every time God prepares to rescue a space, the tension rises, the noise increases, the atmosphere feels tighter. But it's not a sign of destruction. It's a sign of breakthrough. The battle gets loudest before it's over. Chosen one, your home is about to carry a new vibration. God is upgrading the energy field that surrounds your rest, your thoughts, your conversations, and your prayers. No more contamination. No more unclean spirits walking through like they have a right to stay. God has issued an eviction notice to every invisible agent sent to monitor, delay, or disturb you. What was sent to quietly occupy your peace is being cast out, and what is coming in its place is holy. You didn't just move into a house. You stepped into a place where heaven would collide with earth. The reason the battle over your space has been so persistent is because your home is a prophetic gate. Your voice holds power, and your prayers echo through dimensions. The moment you speak, the atmosphere begins to obey. And the forces that once sat comfortably in the corners of your space are now trembling because God is moving in. This isn't just about physical safety, it's about spiritual safety, emotional safety, mental safety. The type of peace that can't be explained is about to rise up in your space like a wave. And it won't come from furniture or paint or money. It will come from the divine seal of protection that God is about to place on your home. He's saving the foundation that others thought was too cracked to fix. He's restoring the frequency of joy, the rhythm of hope, the aroma of light. And every single time someone steps into your home after this, they'll feel something different. They won't be able to explain it, but they'll be able to feel it. That's what happens when God claims a space. It glows even in silence. And this change won't be small. It will be noticeable. You may suddenly feel the urge to open windows, let light in, rearrange furniture, or throw certain things away. You may wake up feeling lighter or more grounded. This is all part of the process. When God saves your space, your spirit knows it before your mind does. It will manifest in your mood and your rest and your focus. Even the things you once tolerated in your environment will begin to irritate your spirit. That's because your spiritual tolerance is being recalibrated. You are no longer aligned with chaos, disorder, or darkness. You are being tuned into a higher frequency. And this home, your home, is being anointed for that elevation. The people who enter your space may shift too. Some may leave, some may be drawn in, and others may start acting differently around you. Don't be alarmed. God is adjusting the spiritual settings. Your space is no longer neutral territory. It is now marked, protected, assigned. It is now a holy zone. This means that certain conversations won't feel right anymore. Certain behaviors will feel intrusive. Your spirit will guard your home like a lion guards its territory, and that's divine. That's what protection looks like when God takes over. Your discernment becomes sharper. Your peace becomes non-negotiable. This moment is holy. Don't take it lightly. Something has been lifted. Something has been announced in the spirit, and even if you don't fully see it yet, your home has entered a different timeline. The same way seasons shift in nature, your environment is stepping into spring after a long winter. Warmth is returning. Stillness is awakening. Your space is being reborn. God is not just saving your home from what's been bothering you. He's saving it for what's coming next. Your house will be a vessel for vision, clarity, and miracles. And you'll look back at this message and remember the shift. You'll remember the quiet morning or the still night where something changed in the atmosphere. And you'll know it wasn't a coincidence. It was divine timing. There's a silence forming in the spirit that doesn't feel empty. It feels rich. That silence is not the absence of sound, but the arrival of something sacred. It's the calm before the manifestation. It's the hush that always surrounds a divine landing. And right now, that silence is sitting inside your home. It's hovering over your walls, resting in the corners, and waiting for the appointed moment to release what's been hidden for you. God has been watching what others ignored. He has seen what you endured in the very place where you were supposed to feel safe. He saw the tears you wiped alone. He saw the energy it took just to sit in that room and not collapse under the weight of your reality. He noticed when you felt like leaving, disappearing, or starting over just to find some air. But now the winds are shifting. God is turning your house into a safe harbor, not a battlefield. You were never wrong to hope that your home could be a refuge. You weren't naive to dream that it could carry peace, joy, and divine energy. You were ahead of time. You were sensing what God was preparing to bring. Your home was always meant to match the calling inside of you. And now that you're stepping into your assignment more fully, your environment must catch up. There's an alignment taking place, a spiritual synchronization. Your soul can't live in chaos while your spirit is rising in clarity. The mismatch is over. What was once tolerated in the energy of your home is no longer sustainable. And so God is stepping in, not gently, but powerfully. This is a rescue mission, a spiritual cleansing, a holy overhaul of the space you call your own. You may feel moments where old emotions surface, grief, confusion, even anger. Let them pass. It's the final residue of what was never meant to stay. As God cleanses the atmosphere, what's hidden comes into light, but not to harm you, only to free you. This is the exposure that leads to freedom. This is the confrontation that leads to healing. He is saving your home because He is saving your mind. He is saving your home because He is saving your sleep. He is saving your home because what's coming next requires you to be alert, stable, and grounded. Your miracle cannot land in a broken landing zone. Your promise cannot rest in a place infested with spiritual noise. That's why this transformation isn't cosmetic. It's foundational. It's not about changing how things look, but changing what they hold. Your rooms are being reassigned in the Spirit. Your space is becoming a command center for divine communication, and the things that once distracted you in that house will suddenly lose their voice. You'll notice it in the way you wake up. The heaviness won't greet you at the door of consciousness like it used to. You'll notice it in the way your thoughts form, more inspired, more focused. You'll feel the shift in how you breathe, how you move around the house, how you sit down and reflect. You'll feel like you've entered a new address even if you haven't moved. And that's the miracle of it all. God can change your entire world without relocating your body. He can shift your house from being a place of pressure to a portal of power. Because it's not just the four walls that define your space, it's the presence that fills it. And when God's presence increases, everything else must submit. Don't be surprised when you begin to feel more clear-headed at home. Don't be shocked when your rest deepens. Don't question the sudden urge to open every curtain and let sunlight in, even if you never cared before. That's the light of heaven reflecting in your natural world. Your spirit recognizes it before your senses do. Even the sounds around your home will begin to change. What once felt noisy or disruptive will quiet down. The environment around you will begin to reflect your inner peace. And that peace didn't come from nowhere, it was sent. God wrapped it in silence and delivered it to your doorstep without asking permission from any enemy. And the beauty of this intervention is that it won't just affect you. Everyone who shares space with you will feel it. Whether they understand it or not, they will be impacted. Some will feel comfort they've never felt before. Others may feel uncomfortable in the new energy because not everyone is meant to stay in a space that God has sanctified. Some people will fade away quietly. Don't chase them. Others will be drawn to you with new eyes. Don't be afraid of the shift. When God saves your space, He also saves the interactions that take place within it. That means new friendships may be born. New ideas may flow. New blessings may land because your house is now cleared for landing. This rescue is not random. It is preparation. God is about to entrust you with a level of influence, peace, and spiritual responsibility that requires a purified atmosphere. You cannot lead others while living in a house that's spiritually noisy. You cannot manifest miracles from a place that blocks divine flow. So He's clearing the way. You may begin to notice patterns breaking, habits, emotions, even behaviors that were tied to the old energy of your home. Don't resist the change. Lean into it. What you once needed to survive in that space will no longer be necessary. God is giving you new tools, new rhythms, new clarity, and most of all, a new covering. Chosen one. Your home is not just being saved, it's being equipped. It's becoming a container of destiny. Your home is going to echo what heaven is speaking. It will carry peace so thick it will feel like a hug around your soul. This is not hype. This is holy. And you'll know it when the quiet finally feels like safety instead of loneliness. This time the silence won't be heavy. It will be healing. There was a time when you questioned if the place you were living in was cursed, not because you wanted to, but because the pressure was so intense, the atmosphere so strange, the energy so unsettling that you couldn't help but wonder, what is wrong with this house? You may have asked yourself if something happened here before you arrived. You may have sensed things you couldn't explain. The nights didn't feel safe. The walls felt like they remembered pain. It was as if the air carried an old weight, a past sorrow, an invisible hand always reaching towards your peace. But God saw it. God heard the prayers you whispered with trembling lips. He noticed how your spirit would retreat into silence just to survive. And now the response is coming. Not as a whisper, but as a divine shift. This is no ordinary shift. This is a spiritual rewiring of the environment around you. God is not just removing what's unclean. He's replacing it with glory. Your home is about to carry divine residue. You'll walk through your own rooms and feel warmth, not war. Where there was once tension, there will be tranquility. Where there was once resistance, there will be receptivity. This shift is so deep. Even the walls are listening. Even the structure is responding. Because when the command of God goes out, all of creation obeys. Your home, every beam, every corner, every object is aligning to serve your new season. What once seemed dead space is being activated as holy ground. You'll begin to notice patterns breaking in real time. For so long, you may have experienced recurring challenges every time you tried to rest, focus, or create in your home. As if something was watching you. As if every attempt to heal was being interrupted. But now the interference is being shut down. God is sealing the entry points where darkness once crept in unnoticed. And He's not doing it silently. You may hear noises in the night that are not scary. They are spiritual. The sound of departure, the sound of cleansing, the sound of invisible things being pushed out by an invisible hand. You may find yourself waking at strange hours with clarity, ideas, or even tears of release. That's not your imagination, that's deliverance. You may look at certain objects in your home and feel a sudden urge to remove them. Old clothes, old gifts, old furniture, things that carry frequencies of a past season, a past trauma, a past relationship. Follow that inner pull. God is fine-tuning your discernment. You're no longer choosing things based on sentiment. You're choosing based on spirit. Even your memories of that house are being healed. The old echoes of arguments, breakdowns, and betrayals are fading into the background. Not erased, but transformed. They are no longer traps. They are testimonies. You will walk past the room where you once cried and feel the new presence rising. The same place where you once fell will now be the place where you stand. Your home is entering a covenant, and a covenant doesn't break. God is binding His presence to your environment so securely that no force of darkness will be able to override it. This doesn't mean trouble won't try, but it does mean trouble won't stay. Resistance may knock, but it will find the door spiritually locked, and your sensitivity will rise. You'll become more aware of shifts in the air, voices that don't belong, or sudden feelings of unease. That's not paranoia, that's protection. Your home has become a sanctuary, and sanctuaries must be guarded. What you allow in now determines what grows inside, and God is giving you the eyes to see what others overlook. Even your pets, if you have any, will behave differently. They'll sense the shift. Children will feel calmer. Visitors will pause and say, "Something feels different in here." And you won't need to explain it. You'll just smile because you'll know God saved your house. God walked in when no one else saw the silent suffering. And He didn't leave. He stayed. You'll start to dream clearer, sleep deeper, create more freely. Your thoughts will flow smoother because the atmosphere has been cleared. What was once a home of tension is now a place of alignment. You are aligned, your space is aligned, and because of that, your future is no longer delayed. Every delay tied to your environment is being broken. Every financial pause, every relational conflict, every mental fog that attached itself to your living space is dissolving because your environment either fights your destiny or fuels it. And now, finally, your home is on your side. And you may cry, not from sadness, but from relief. Because deep down you knew it wasn't supposed to be this hard, just to live. You knew something was off. And now that it's shifting, you'll feel like you can breathe again. This is what healing feels like when it comes from the inside out. Don't be surprised if God begins to give you new ideas right where you are in your kitchen, on your couch, at your desk. Because now the channel is open. Your house has become a gate and you are the keeper. And what flows through that gate will no longer be chaos. It will be clarity. Your words will carry more power inside those walls. Now your declarations, your affirmations, your prayers, they will hit different because you're not speaking into static. You're speaking into sanctified air. You'll feel your voice rise. You'll feel your energy expand. You'll feel God walking the halls with you. And He will remind you this was always the plan. You were never meant to live in a war zone. You were never meant to tiptoe around spiritual landmines. You were meant to dwell in a place where your soul could rest, where your light could expand, and where heaven could visit freely. Chosen one, This is the miracle you didn't know you needed. You thought you needed a new house, but God knew you needed a holy home. And that's exactly what He's building, right where you are. It didn't happen all at once, but something has definitely changed. You can feel it in the rhythm of your days. You can feel it in the stillness that lingers just a little longer after you wake up. You can feel it in the way your heart no longer races for no reason when you're home. There's a new softness in the air, a new kind of safety. It's quiet but alive, calm but alert. That's how you know God is in the house. There's no need to explain it to everyone. Not everyone will understand what just happened in your environment. Some might say you're glowing differently or you seem more at ease, but they won't realize that your home, the very space where you rest, think, pray, and build, has been infused with something holy. It's not just better lighting or cleaner floors, it's divine presence. It's the fragrance of peace. It's the echo of rescue. The spiritual weather inside your house has changed. The climate has shifted from storm to serenity, and it's not because circumstances on the outside are perfect. It's because something eternal entered the temporal and claimed your ground. God didn't just pass through, He established something. He planted peace like a flag. He marked territory that will never again be vulnerable to the attacks that once found you easily. You are safe now, not in a fragile, temporary way, but in a grounded, supernatural way. This doesn't mean you won't feel emotion. It means the emotions won't break you. This doesn't mean you won't face resistance. It means the resistance will no longer have access to your atmosphere. You've been sealed, and because of this, the house will start to talk back in its own way. Not with words, but with alignment. Doors will open where there was once delay. Repairs will be easier than expected. Bills you feared will be covered in ways you didn't foresee. Order will return. Items will be found. Things will begin to work again because God has infused function back into your home. Even the light will look different. Even the shadows will feel softer. There's a divine filter now resting on every room. The ceiling isn't just wood and plaster, it's now a canopy of grace. The floor isn't just a surface you walk on, it's holy ground. And every step you take inside your house is now a step inside purpose. You'll find yourself sitting in places you once avoided. You'll pause in silence and realize you're no longer afraid to be alone with your thoughts. The heaviness that once lingered like fog is gone. You'll start hearing God more clearly, not because He speaks louder, but because the interference has been silenced. This is the real miracle. Not that your home got fixed, but that it got purified. It got recalibrated to match your future. It now reflects your transformation. And because of this, you're stepping into a rhythm you've never known before. A rhythm of rest, a rhythm of renewal, a rhythm that only exists when the space around you aligns with the destiny inside you. You might even feel new desires rising. The desire to host, to decorate, to clean, to create beauty. That's not random, it's restoration. When God brings peace into a place, He also brings back the desire to make that place flourish. You're not just surviving anymore, you're cultivating. That's the divine sign of recovery. And with this new energy comes a shift in boundaries. You may begin to feel a strong sense of protection over your home, not from fear, but from reverence. You'll want to guard the peace. You'll notice when someone brings in energy that doesn't match. You'll feel it, and that's God working through you, giving you the authority to protect what He's restored. Don't doubt the strength of this shift just because it's invisible. Heaven often moves in subtle waves before the full manifestation arrives, and you're already in that wave. The evidence is in the way you breathe now, the way you rest without guilt, the way you smile without forcing it. You're not trying to be calm anymore, you simply are. You'll begin to attract different conversations, different ideas, different dreams, because the environment that was once draining your energy is now filling it. And the people you meet from this point forward will feel that shift. You'll no longer shrink to match dysfunction, you'll expand to host peace. And your home, dear chosen one, will become a testimony not of perfection, but of protection. People may never know the spiritual war that took place inside your walls. They'll never fully grasp the weight of what tried to destroy you behind those closed doors. But you'll know, and you'll look around and say, God saved this. The same couch where you once sat with anxiety will now be the place you receive vision. The same kitchen where arguments once echoed will now carry the aroma of joy. The same hallway you once walked in, fear will now be your runway of clarity. And this time, it's not temporary. This time, it's rooted because this wasn't a surface-level change. This was a spiritual rescue operation, and you, chosen one, cooperated with heaven. You didn't give up. You didn't surrender to the darkness. You waited even when it hurt. And now God has rewarded your waiting with a revival inside your own home. You're not imagining the way things feel different. That whisper of peace that greets you when you walk through the door. It's real. That ease you feel when you sit down and exhale. That's not just comfort, it's confirmation. What once felt like surviving now feels like living. Your house, your refuge, your sacred space. It has been saved. And not just from danger, but from the shadows you couldn't explain. Now every corner holds something sacred. The space isn't just clean, it's clear. The energy isn't just calm, it's aligned. God didn't just fix the physical. He restored the spiritual fabric of your home. You've been moved into a season where your environment no longer delays your breakthrough, but accelerates it. This means doors that were spiritually shut are swinging open without resistance. You're no longer wrestling invisible forces in the atmosphere. You're walking in clarity. You're breathing in a divine rhythm. And your house is finally reflecting who you've always been underneath the noise. Someone chosen, someone covered, someone whose life is being watched over by something far greater. Your walls heard every silent cry. Your floor carried the weight of your weariness, but now they're vibrating with new purpose. Because your pain did not go unnoticed, it became the very signal that heaven responded to. And now that response is taking full form, not just in your emotions, but in your surroundings. Even your belongings are beginning to align with your new chapter. You're noticing what needs to go, what needs to stay, and what needs to be added. The clutter is no longer tolerable. The old is no longer welcome. This isn't about style, it's about energy. It's about God making room for what's coming next. And what's coming next is big. Your home is now ready to host blessings of a magnitude that wouldn't fit in the previous energy. Miracles require space. Visions require stillness. Answers require atmosphere. And now that atmosphere is yours. It's been built around you by divine hands. It's been fine-tuned for overflow. You'll see things that once felt hard become easy. Tasks you dreaded will flow without effort. Your productivity will rise. Your confidence will increase. And the most powerful part, you'll feel grounded without needing anything external to validate you. That's the sign that God truly saved your home. Not just so you could live, but so you could rise. You've been chosen to host something sacred. That's why your home had to be purified. Your destiny isn't light, it carries weight. And the space around you needed to support that weight. Now it does. This house, yes, the one you're in, is more than you thought. It's not just shelter, it's your spiritual headquarters. It's where dreams will form, where divine instructions will drop, where rest will become revelation. It's the place where your prayers will echo louder, where you'll hear God clearer, where you'll remember who you are without distractions. Don't underestimate what's happening, even if nothing around you looks new on the surface. Some shifts begin in the silence and end in revolution. You're in the middle of that revolution right now. Quiet on the outside, but explosive in the spirit. You'll wake up one morning soon and something will click. You'll realize you're not the same person, and your home isn't the same place. The battle is over. The rescue is complete. God has saved the space that was trying to break you. And now it will bless you. From now on, every door you open in your home will be a reminder. You didn't just survive, you've been sanctified. You didn't just wake up in a new energy, you woke up in a new dimension. The rescue wasn't only for relief, it was for redefinition. The place you once tried to escape from has become the launch pad of your next elevation. The same walls that used to echo pain now carry prophecy. The same ceilings that once felt low now hold no limit. Because when God enters your environment, he does not decorate, he dominates. And now silence speaks. In this new energy, you'll notice how quiet carries more truth than noise ever could. The peace is loud, the stillness is full. You don't feel empty, you feel aware, you feel steady, you feel positioned. That's because your space is no longer operating in survival mode. It has been restored to operate as a sanctuary, not just for your body, but for your calling. When God saves your home, he's not just clearing out the past, he's activating the future. And that future doesn't start someday, it starts now. In the way your thoughts come with more clarity, in the way your emotions no longer spiral, in the way your mind settles into the present moment and stops begging for escape. You don't have to leave your house to find peace anymore. Peace lives here now. And with that peace comes power. Not the loud kind, not the kind that forces itself to be seen. This is quiet power, grounded power, the kind that causes time to slow when you speak, the kind that shifts rooms before you open your mouth, the kind that moves things behind the scenes without needing applause. Your home has become a mirror of what God is doing in you. Simple on the outside, sacred on the inside. You may feel an urge to rearrange, rebuild, repaint, redesign. Don't resist it. Those aren't just aesthetic choices. They're part of the spiritual reset. You're not just adjusting furniture. You're aligning with purpose. You're letting the inner world guide the outer one. That's what happens when God finishes his rescue. You move differently. You place things intentionally. You see space differently. Even the air feels clearer. You'll notice this when you create. When you sit down to write, build, plan, or dream. It will no longer feel like pushing through fog. The inspiration will come in waves. The vision will land softly because your space is no longer interrupting the signal. The house is now helping the flow. The floor beneath you is now part of the foundation of your assignment. And there will be no more restlessness. Not the kind that made you pace the floor wondering why something felt wrong. That energy is gone. What's here now is divine direction. Stillness with purpose. Quiet with weight. You'll move when you're meant to, not out of anxiety, but out of alignment. Don't be surprised when others start asking you what changed. They'll feel something they can't explain when they visit. Some will linger longer than usual. Others may feel uneasy and leave quickly. That's not personal, it's spiritual. Your home now has a frequency, a vibration tuned to truth, light, and clarity.